Hello, me lads and lovelies. Captain Edward von Arkham coming to you from on board the MHS Hysteria. It's been one of those days when my thoughts have been spiraling out of control. A completely normal day. It all started when the voices in my head and I were having a debate about birds. Again, the little voice in my head thought that penguins were funnier.
They are funnier, Edward.
I'm sure they are, little voice. Whereas the big voice in my head thought that puffins were funnier.
They are, Edward.
Whatever you say, big voice. It was a deadlock between the penguin and the puffin until the Scottish voice in my head pointed out that birds in general are utterly hilarious.
That's because they are, you gall-dripped daft wanker.
Well said, Scottish voice. If you take the time to think about it, it is rather apparent that birds, as a class of animal, are quite possibly the funniest things alive. For a start, they evolved from dinosaurs. The fact that they've gone from this
Rawr!
to this
Cheep, 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 cheep.
boggles the mind. They must lead such amusing lives. Imagine the sensation of being tickled by a feather. Now imagine the sensation of being tickled by enough feathers to cover your entire body. Every day must be a laughing riot for them. Also, they have beaks. The concept of a beak is basically a nose and a mouth with no teeth in one package. Efficient and hysterical. Even the tiny everyday sparrows are funny. Think about a sparrow for a moment. It can't move its legs individually, so it has to hop around like this, sticking its tail out all the while. You do that and just try telling me it isn't amusing. Almost every bird I can think of is a laughing riot. The brown owl looks like a large feathery pine cone that can spin its head about. Chickens are obvious. Turkeys are obvious. Ducks are obvious. The peacock is nature's cross-dresser. The parrot is nature's impressionist. The seagull is nature's heckler, and very fun to throw things at. The ostrich looks like someone uprooted a palm tree, turned it upside down, and stuck it onto a pair of legs. The flamingo has many practical uses, such as croquet mallet, golf club, can opener, and they can drink boiling water. Don't ask me how I know that. The spoon-billed, the toucan, and the pelican have hilarious beaks. Also, pelicans make very useful smuggling instruments. Vultures are the only birds with Adam's apples and Elizabethan collars. Have you ever played darts with hummingbirds? It's quite fun. And don't even get me started on the birds of paradise.
I have no words.
I was more than halfway through my ornithological glossary, and I was beginning to think that I would never find a bird that wasn't a hoot, when I came across Corvus corax, the raven. Not only do I not find this bird funny in any way, I find it menacing and macabre, jet black all over. It's the only bird that's ever darker than its own shadow. And their call is piercing and horrific to hear, like a dagger in the night. Like a dagger in the night. They're also incredibly wise birds. The raven has one of the greatest memories of any living creature. The ancient Vikings used them to guide lost ships to land. In fact, I used to keep one on board the Hysteria, just in case our compasses and charts ever failed us. I called him Edwin. I do miss that bird. One day he was just gone. Didn't leave so much as a feather behind. Well, that's all the time for today. I'm going to go throw hummingbirds at seagulls. Until next time. Stay mad, my duckies. Nevermore.